Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another live. Today, I am super excited. For those of you who didn't already read the topic, we're talking about becoming resilient. This is such an incredible topic that I think more people need to become more educated on, more aware of, because the thing is, life has its ups and downs. That's just a fact. There's always going to be ups and downs in every single one of our lives, but how do we become more resilient to stress? How do we become more resilient as human beings so that anything and everything that life throws at us, we're able to handle it with the utmost confidence, the utmost ability to handle it in a way that is not going to completely knock us off our rocker, right? Okay, so today I want to talk about three things, and that is this idea of becoming financially fit, of becoming physically fit. Of course, that's a big part that most people are already aware of. And then on top of that, becoming relationally fit. This is probably one that maybe you haven't heard of before, but these are like the three pillars that I really believe are so foundational for our life, for really living a robust life to where we become resilient. Because here's the thing, if we have our health, right? If we are healthy human beings, it's easier to move through our day. It's easier to go to work. It is easier to deal with stress when we are physically able to do so because we have the energy to do so, right? Now let's talk about the financial fitness, right? Because financially fit has to do with your ability to not only earn money, to make the money that you want, but to be able to invest the money that you want, to be able to learn how to circulate wealth, money, abundance in a way that's going to serve you. How can you get your money to make you money, right? Are you financially literate enough to, once again, learn how to put your money into a place where it can grow? But on top of that, we're talking about how to make money doing things that you love to do. Because any of us can go to a 9 to 5, go to a job that we hate and make money, right? But how do we do that in a way that's purpose driven? How can I go out into the world and actually fulfill my purpose as a human being, do something that is soul led, something that's heart led, something I enjoy, and receive a profit, right? That is your financial fitness. And then we have our relational fitness. This is a whole nother one, right? This has to do with your relationships, your community. How well are you at setting boundaries? How good are you at saying no to things that are not for you? How good are you at communicating with other people? How good are you at choosing friendships and partners and having a healthy dynamic and cycle of energy in your relationships? Because this also is an art. And all of these things, I like to relate this to fitness because people talk about physical fitness all day long. And that's just one area of resilience, right? Our physical resilience, right? Our ability to be strong, our ability to lift heavy stuff, our ability to live a longer life because we're physically fit. But fitness does not stop at our physical body. We have to understand that being physically fit is just one piece of the pie. Now it's like, okay, well, I also want relationships. I also want to be able to share my life with someone. I also want to be able to have a healthy community around me that's actually going to serve me in my life, right? And then on top of that, I want the money. I want the resources to be able to do the things I want to do with my life. And that's the thing. And it's not just about the money, because there's a lot of people out there with a lot of money that are not making money in a way that serves their soul. They're not making money in a way that is an extension of what they truly enjoy. They're not in their art. They're not doing the things that really fulfill them at a deeper level. And this becomes a problem because the money without purpose becomes meaningless. You have the money, but you're lacking the deeper fulfillment that comes from being of service and doing the things that you really love to do, right? So we're not just talking about making a ton of money, because people can do that and then they're empty. We're talking about building fullness, building a life where you thrive, not just thriving financially, but we're thriving relationally. We're thriving with our health so that every single thing on all cylinders, our life is amazing. And it's possible, and you deserve to have it all. And the reason why many people don't is because they don't know how. Maybe you don't understand what are the steps to get there, what is the process, what does it look like, and maybe you don't even think it's possible because a lot of people in your life are telling you, oh well, sure, you may have a great relationship, but then you're going to struggle with your money, or oh well, you think you can have it all, but really that's fantasy. That's not realistic. You're not being realistic right now. Well, I'm telling you, it is possible. It exists. People have that. And it was 100% starts with your belief that you can have it, that you can do it. And then you'll match with the right people, the right places, the right things that are going to put you on that path and actually make it realistic and achievable for you. So that's what we're going to talk about to get started today is belief. Because so many people are missing the foundation of everything, and that is their mindset and belief system. Because I can preach to you all day long, but if you don't decide that this is potentially an opportunity or a potential future for you, then I am wasting my time talking, right? So we need to discuss beliefs before everything else, because belief system is where everything starts. Okay, so let me go ahead and check in really quick with the chat here. We have people from all over the world. Hello, everyone. I'm live on multiple platforms right now. So hello, Facebook. Hello, Instagram. Hello, TikTok. We're live over on all of the platforms today. Instagram. Hello, hello. Alrighty. Hello from Italy. Hello from Spain. Awesome. I love it. Love it, love it. Okay, so today we're talking about resilience, right? We're talking about the pillars of fitness, and not just physical fitness. We're talking about financial, and we're talking about relational fitness. So why did I say that we need to start with belief systems? Because a lot of people think they know what beliefs are, but that really they're in the dark. Most people think that a belief system is just saying I believe something, right? I believe I can make $1 million. I believe that I'm a healthy person. I believe that I deserve to be in a healthy relationship. One thing is saying something, and another thing is what you are doing every single day. Another thing is who you are being every single day. Because here's the thing. When you say something, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what you believe, right? Your actions and what you're doing every single day will show not only yourself, but everyone else around you what you really believe, right? Because let me give you an example to make this more real for you. Let's say that I am saying to my friend, my mom, whatever, I believe that I deserve a healthy relationship. I want a healthy relationship, but I'm constantly choosing friends, partners, and situations that are toxic. I'm constantly choosing to surround myself with people who are rude to me, people who undervalue me, people who really just don't treat me well and don't treat themselves well. But I'm saying I believe that I deserve a healthy relationship. Well, I'm going to tell you, you don't believe it, because your actions are showing me that you don't believe that. There's something else going on in your subconscious that is not in alignment with that belief. Because if you did believe, I deserve healthy love, I deserve a healthy relationship, you're going to make different decisions. You're going to choose different people. You're going to set different boundaries, because your subconscious is running 95% of your life. So your belief, your true beliefs, always manifest in the form of action. This is something that many people miss. Your subconscious is directly connected to your body, right? Guess what? What is the energy? What is the intelligence that makes you breathe at night when you're not thinking about it? What is rolling your digestion and all these movements that you do on autopilot? That is your subconscious. Your subconscious is literally running most of your life, because most of what we do is unconscious. Most of what we do is pattern, is habitual, right? So when we understand this, we can really hack the system. We learn to hack our body and our brain and our mind because we understand, okay, if I understand that beliefs are going to manifest, my subconscious thoughts are going to manifest in the form of action that I take every single day. If I want to be a healthy person, it's probably a smart thing for me to maybe become aware of the thought patterns that are going on in my mind, and maybe take a step back and ask myself, what are the actions I'm taking every day if I really want to be a healthy person, right? And the same thing applies with my finances, and the same thing applies with my relationships. I can say, I believe I can be a millionaire. Okay, well, are you taking the steps? Right? Are we actually moving toward that? Are the words that are coming out of my mouth matching with the way that I'm showing up in my life? Right? Because a lot of the time there is a delay. This is normal, right? In this world, in this 3D world, there's a delay from when we plant the seed to when we get the manifestation, right? We plant the seed of a profitable business, then we have to take action, to lead us to this manifestation of a profitable business or whatever. Same thing with a healthy body. You plant the seed that you want a healthy body. Let's say you have 50 pounds to lose, right? It's going to take some time to bridge the gap to that manifestation. But what happens in this space? What happens in this process? That is where we have to make sure that we are being the person that's going to bridge the gap. Because the identity that you step into is really what we're going for here, right? Because when we become that person, we're changing our belief systems. We're hacking the system, like I said before. Because when we start to step into a new version of ourselves by becoming aware of our thoughts, taking a look at our behaviors and saying, okay, what am I doing every day? I know I keep saying I want to be rich. I know I keep saying that I want to be healthy. I keep saying I want to be in a healthy relationship. But let's start being honest with ourselves first. Maybe there is some belief systems. Maybe there's some fears going on in the background that are trying to protect you from something, right? We all have these. Every one of us has been through our own versions of hurts and pains and traumas in our life. But the question is, are you willing to be honest with yourself, number one, and say, okay, why am I not in the place that I said I wanted to be a few months ago, a few years ago, or whatever? How long have you been telling yourself that you want to be healthy and that you want to be in this certain place with your body, with your finances, and with your relationships? How long is it going to take for us to be honest with ourselves and say, okay, clearly what I'm doing isn't working because the result or the manifestation isn't here right now, right? I'm not living it yet. So what can I do to change first my thinking, right? What can I do to change my thinking, to see what's going on in my subconscious? Because awareness and self-awareness is the key. Because if you don't become aware of that, you can start to change some habits here and there, but then guess what's going to happen? It's like a rubber band. It's going to pull you right back to the start again because you're not seeing what's been blocking you. And 99% of the time, that is a certain thought pattern of a fear that you have of getting fit, a fear that you have around being wealthy, a fear that you have around being in a healthy relationship. So everything really does start with that subconscious belief. And I want to give you guys another example here because stories really do tie things together, and I think examples do the same thing. So let's say, I'll give an example of a friend that I know. So this person, we'll call her Alexis. Okay, so this girl is wanting to be in a healthy relationship, right? She comes to me and she says, hey girl, I've noticed that you've been in this healthy relationship, and I saw you in the past, and maybe, you dealt with XYZ in the past, so I know that you've come a long way in your life, and I also want to be in a healthy relationship. I also want to travel the world. I want to be with someone who respects me and loves me and all this stuff, right? Okay, so I'm going to say to her, okay, so tell me a little bit about, exactly what you're looking for in a partner, right? They tell me all these different things, da 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 da, and then I ask them, okay, what are you doing to, become the person that can match with that type of person. Because here's another thing. It's not just about getting stuff. It's about who are you, who am I becoming, so that it's natural for me to have these things. Be before I have, right? Who do I need to become to attract a healthy partner? Who do I need to become to attract, to accumulate, to make money? Who do I need to become in order to be healthy? And it's just a part of who I am. It's an identity change, right? Because that's the thing. Everything that we've built, not only with Vibe, because this is a whole nother thing, right? We have Vibe, that's a whole community. It's a healthy product. It's all this amazing stuff, right? Why do we focus so much in Vibe on lifestyle and not on diet? It's because lifestyle is changing your identity. Lifestyle transforms you at a subconscious level. Diets are temporary changes that don't last. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm not here to teach people just something that's going to be a quick fix, because why? Why? Why not go all the way and make the change and actually have it stick? Because I know that a lot of people, they don't want to just continue to go from diet to diet. Okay, I lost the weight in a month. Boom, you gain it back in 2 months, and probably even more than you did the first time. Right? Why? Why waste our time? Why not change our lifestyle habits so that it's something that lasts, it's something that sticks, and actually changes you, like at the foundation, right? Like I said before, belief systems, identity. This is the groundwork. This is the foundation that we want to build on. It's not just, what is the action I need to take? Please tell me what I need to do. Holly, please just give me a meal plan. Holly, please just give me a workout plan. I just want to get fit. Okay, I hear you. I have heard this for years and years and years. Trust me, guys. I've been a coach and a trainer and all this stuff for over 8 years. And I've heard so many different things from so many people, and they get annoyed when I start to approach it from a perspective of mindset and belief systems, because they think that all they want is to get 20 pounds lighter, right? I just want my abs back again. But I'm telling you, if you go through this process, you're not only going to get the result that you want, you're going to be able to keep it. This is going to be the last time that you have to go through another diet to lose all this weight because you keep putting it back on. Right? This is the last time that you're going to have to continue to start and to fail in the area of business because you were working with not a robust foundation. But if we start from a solid foundation, then you can continue to build. Doesn't mean you're not going to trip and fall here and there, but you're not going to have to start from ground zero again. You can continue to build from there. And the same thing applies with our relationships. This is something that I wish someone would have told me years ago, not only with my health, but the same thing with my relationships and everything else. It all comes back to me. And so now let's talk a little bit. I have a bunch of comments here. Hello, everyone on TikTok. Hello, friends over on YouTube. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the comments and the engagement. Thank you so much. And hello. Let me go ahead and check over here on Instagram just really quick. I don't want people to feel like I'm not paying attention to their comments. Yes, yes, yes. Perfect. And then we have Facebook. Hello, guys. Okay. So, like I said, now let's touch a little bit on why accountability is such a crucial component to this whole process. Because a lot of people, and I'm guilty of this too, right? It's easy for us to blame other people, other things, other situations for the reason why we don't have what we want in our life, why we don't have the result that we want in our life yet, right? Whether this is the body, the money, the person, whatever it is. It's easier to be a victim than to take accountability, to step into ownership for your own life. So most people would prefer to walk around pointing fingers and blaming than saying, what if this is all my responsibility? What if this is all my doing and my creation? Because for most people, they fear more than anything else in the world taking accountability for everything because it's hard initially, right? It's like a boom, it hits you and you're like, "Oh crap. I'm the reason I'm broke. I'm the reason I'm sick. I'm the reason I'm fat. I'm the reason I'm in toxic relationships and I can't get in a healthy relationship." Right? This is a huge step. If you can literally just bridge the gap between believing everything's happening to you to your life is happening because of you, game changer. Completely transform your life because here's the thing. You can 100% believe and live your life as a victim. And that's okay. If you want to do that, that's awesome. But just know that that is not the way that you get your dreams. That's not the way to success. That is not the way that you really can thrive in any area of your life. You're going to have to step into an ownership role. You're going to have to step into this place of radical responsibility and accountability for everything. Does it hurt initially? Yeah. But trust me, it's way easier to rip off the Band-Aid quick than to slowly tear it and torture yourself. So once we get to a place where we decide that I am the reason why I am where I am, guess what? Now you have your power back. Now you have reclaimed your sovereignty and you are now going to be able to make decisions because who was the one that got you there? You did. Who's the one that can get you out of it? You can. So let's say you want to improve your health. What do? We ask ourselves, okay, somehow I got myself to this place where I'm not happy with my body. How can I change this? Right? I can start making maybe some different decisions here, some different decisions there, and this is going to lead to a different result, right? So that is why I really wanted to bring this to your attention today, not just because it's super important for us to, of course, be physically healthy, right? But because I understand that if we really want to live a good life, we need to have money and resources. We need to have our health. And we need to have people around us. We need to have community. Human beings thrive in connection and community. So, of course, then, the conversation we should be having is, how can I get to a place where I can at least be solid in these three areas? Does it mean that I have to freaking be like a model or like a super jacked with a six pack? No, but at least you're healthy. At least you feel good, you have energy, you feel good about yourself, right? To the point where you can live your life and you are going to live potentially a longer life because of the decisions you're making today, right? Same thing with our finances. We're not talking about, okay, everyone needs to be a millionaire. Everyone needs to be, super duper rich. Of course, if that's your goal, awesome. I believe in you. Go for it. But maybe you're just looking for financial independence. Maybe you're just looking for an extra $1,000 a month, maybe $5,000 a month. Something that's going to give you freedom to be able to do the things that you love to do, to be able to live the lifestyle that one, you deserve, and two, you should be living, right? Because we have one life. Why not come here and live to the fullest? Do the things you love, travel, enjoy the time with your family, be able to take time off when you want to take time off, right? And then, of course, relationships, right? We want to be able to have someone who supports us, friends to be around, people who are good energy, people who believe in you, who support you, and to feel a part of something. This is huge. Human beings need to feel a part of something. And of course, we do this in a lot of unhealthy ways, right? When people feel lost and they feel they don't belong, and then they get involved in different unhealthy situations. But you want to be intentional about choosing your circle because your circle will influence you. It will influence your energy. It influences your behavior, your habits, and everything else. So if you want to be a successful person in the areas of health, finances, and relationships, you want to put yourself in circles where those people are successful in those areas, right? Put yourself around people who have healthy relationships. Put yourself around people who are making the amount of money that you want to make or doing the thing that you want to be doing with your career, with your business, or whatever. And the same thing with your health. If you're wanting to lose weight and be healthy, don't be hanging around people who only eat trashy foods and bad foods and preservatives and don't go to the gym, they don't exercise, and they don't move. It's going to rub off on you. It's literally human nature. Mirroring is a thing. Who you hang out with is going to be a huge proponent to who you become. So, do yourself a service. Put yourself around people who inspire you. Surround yourself with people who you aspire to be like, and that will make a huge difference in your overall happiness, your success, the results that you get in your life, because it makes a huge difference. It really does. Okay? I'm going to give you guys a few minutes to send any questions that you have around this topic. Like I said, I'm live on multiple platforms, so there's quite a few comments coming in here. I will be answering the questions that are appropriate to the topic that we're discussing today. So let me go ahead and see. I'm going to start over here with TikTok. What happens if a person is only around themselves? That can be one of the biggest blessings, I would say, because if you are, let's say, in your lonely era, right? And maybe you don't have a lot of friends, you don't have a lot of family around you. This is the time for you to really fall in love with yourself, to spend time in solitude, to get to know what it is that you really want out of life. And this is with everything, right? Really ask yourself deeper questions. Okay, let's say initially, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, why? Why do you want to be a millionaire? Go deeper with this stuff, because sometimes you'll realize that those surface level desires that a lot of people have around having a perfect body or being a millionaire or, finding a perfect person is actually coming from fear or trauma and not actually coming from a genuine desire that's going to fulfill you, right? So I want you to ask yourself, like, why do I really want money? Why do I want financial independence? What is the type of lifestyle that I would live every day that would just really bring me a lot of joy? And why does that bring me joy? Do I really want to be making $1 million a year, or would I be happy with $200,000 a year, or maybe $600,000 a year, right? Be honest with yourself, because a lot of people aim for like super high numbers just because they think that that's success. But success really is dependent upon you. And how are you going to know that if you don't know yourself? How are you going to know exactly the type of person to choose in a relationship if you don't even know yourself? Right? People talk about it all the time. Oh, find somebody who, you're compatible with, and find a person that, you're going to be happy with, and da da da, and someone who matches your values. How does that work if you don't know you? It doesn't, right? Because in order for me to be able to actually find a partner who's good for me, I need to have an idea, right? A pretty good idea, hopefully, of who I am and what I want, right? Same thing with all areas. This will save you a ton of time, because I know for me, another example here, when I was 19 years old, I thought I wanted the private jets and the super luxurious lifestyle, and I wanted to go everywhere, and I wanted first class everywhere I go, and all these things. Okay? There's nothing wrong with wanting luxury. There's nothing wrong with wanting a great life. But what I've learned as I've continued to travel the world and, be in an incredible relationship and have time to myself, in solitude, I've really learned that it's peace that I really want. It's enjoying and being present that I really want. Does it mean that I don't want nice things? Of course I want nice things. I also want to enjoy luxury, but it's not like a need anymore. It's not like, oh my gosh, I need this. I need this to be happy. I need money to be happy. I need that. No. What you really need is presence. What you really need is to get to know yourself so that you're connected to yourself. You know what it is that you want. That is going to save you so much time instead of chasing the shiny object, thinking that this is going to bring me joy. When I make the $1 million, I'm going to be enough. When I make the $1 million, I'm going to believe I'm capable. I can do anything. It's not about that. It's really not. Like, of course, we have goals. We have things that we want to achieve. But what I'm saying is ask yourself the deeper questions so that you're moving toward the things that are genuinely going to fulfill you and not waste your time, especially in your relationships, because it's going to save you a lot of heartbreak. It's going to save other people a lot of heartbreak. It's going to save you years and years of time spent instead of going out and dating to get to know yourself, right? I used to hear this all the time when I was young. Go out and explore the water. Go and date all these people so you can get to know what you want and like. How am I supposed to get to know what I like just by dating someone else? Don't you think it'd be smarter if I spent some time with myself, getting to know what I truly value, what I like, where I'm going with my life, what are the things I love to do, who am I? Then I would have a better idea, right? Of who is going to match with me, who's going to be able to add to my life and I can add to theirs, right? So I hope this is making sense. I hope that this is bringing clarity to some of you to take some time to get to know yourself. You know, solitude should not be something that is feared. This should be embraced. Time alone is beautiful because you get to spend time and reconnect with yourself. Don't use loneliness as a way to escape and to find someone because you're lonely, or to make money because you're lonely, or do anything else, because that's moving from fear again. And you're going to get to that thing, and then you're going to have to come back and face yourself again. Regardless of the relationship you get in, regardless of the money that you make, you're still going to have to be with yourself. So make sure that you're happy with yourself. You're happy with who you are, and you're moving toward the things that are going to genuinely bring you those deeper soul fulfillment, satisfy those desires that are not just from your ego, but they're coming from your soul. The peace, the joy, the connection, those things that fulfill you. It's like watering a plant with the right nutrients instead of watering it with something that's going to never really satisfy. Okay, hope that makes sense. Okie dokie, let me go ahead and take, because I just took a question from TikTok. Let me go over to Instagram and see if we have any questions over here. Wow, it is bright today. Hello, everyone on Instagram. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions. Thank you guys for the engagement. I appreciate the comments. Okay, let me go ahead and check over here on YouTube. We had quite a few comments coming in here as well. Just give me a second, guys. Someone's asking, do you do manifestation? Yes, I do. So manifestation is another topic that is often misunderstood, because when people hear the word manifestation, most people think that it's just some like foo-foo fairy like wish and then it comes into my life, right? Like, oh my gosh, I want to, I don't know, a Lamborghini, and I'm just going to go sit on my couch and I'm just going to think, and I'm going to be like, yes, please, thank you so much for the Lamborghini. Yes, yes, yes. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. Right? And they think it's going to fall into their lap. Manifestation is quite simply an alignment, like I said in the beginning, of your thoughts, your beliefs, and your actions. But here's the cool thing. A lot of people work in reverse. They take action, and then they find out later that they have to work on their beliefs and their thoughts as well. You will get to your desired manifestation 10 to 100 times faster if you work thoughts, beliefs, and then action. And let me tell you why. If you are someone out there right now and you're like, I want to get healthy, right? And you are just trying to take action and all these different things. You could try this diet, try that diet, try working out over here, your Orange Theory, then your Pilates and your yoga, right? And you're trying all these things, action first. It works. Eventually, you're going to find out what you need to do. But here's the thing, it's going to take you a lot more time. But if you approach it the other way, which is, let's say you're not as healthy as you want to be, but now you're like, okay, I need to change my thinking. I need to change my belief systems to, I am a healthy person. I'm becoming aware of my fears. I'm becoming aware of what really got me into an unhealthy body in the first place. Because something I was doing, something I was thinking was making me unhealthy, right? Because a lot of people think that it's just about what I'm eating, right? Your thoughts can make you sick because your thoughts can bring more and more stress that is going to affect also how you take action. So if I approach getting healthy from the perspective of changing my thoughts, changing my beliefs, you're going to be led to the exact things that you need to do. Not only the food, but the exercise and all the other stuff that you need to do to get yourself healthier. It's such a fast track to getting to the goal that you want to get to versus just taking action and bulldozing everything else. This is what I've learned. When it comes to business, this also applies. When it comes to relationships, this also applies. If I were to just go out and date everybody and try to find my dream partner, and do as much dating as I possibly can, who knows how long until I find that person. But what if I decided to work on my mindset first? What if I decided to say, what am I thinking about love? What do I believe about relationships? What is my past tell me that I've been doing when it comes to relationships? Maybe I'm not happy with the type of people that I've chosen or the people I've been going on dates with. What are my belief systems around this? How can I change this so that now my life is going to reflect a different version because I'm different? Who I choose is going to be differently. The boundaries that I set are going to be different. And this is going to change the type of person that I attract, but also the type of person that I choose. Now I saved myself 10 years of stress and heartbreak because I decided to work from the mind first and then align my actions. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to go out and date. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to do that. But what comes first? In my world, thoughts and beliefs come first. Because if I align these things, then I know that I can make the right decisions and that I'm going to make the right action steps, the aligned action that's necessary to get me to my goal. And like I said, this applies in all areas of life: business, relationships, and of course with your health as well. So that is something that I'd highly recommend, is that you really become aware of your thoughts, become aware of your habits. What are you doing every single day? Because this is going to start to tell you where you are out of alignment. Where are your thoughts and beliefs sabotaging you? Where are your thoughts and beliefs really holding you back from the type of lifestyle that you really want to live, right? So that was a great question. Thank you for that over on YouTube. Love it. Okay, and then where else are we live? We're live over on Facebook as well, which sometimes I'm not able to see the Facebook comments. Let's see if I can see any on here. Yeah, I'm not really seeing any. Okay, let's take another question over here on TikTok because we had quite a few coming in over here. Gosh, there's so many. Just give me a second, guys. Wow, it kind of takes a minute to read through all these comments. Okay, dokie. Hello from Texas. It's so cool to be able to connect with people from around the world. That's what I love. I love about social media. Of course, there's pros and cons to everything, right? Okay, so I'm not really seeing a ton. Okay, so this is kind of a deeper question. Okay, this will be my last question, guys, and then I gotta go. So this person specifically asking about, what about someone born with a disability, right? Or is this their fault also? So this is kind of ties into what I was talking about earlier about being a victim versus being a creator and accepting life and being able to take responsibility and accountability for everything that has happened in your life, right? Because this could go up for debate, right? The whole thing about abuse and trauma and being born with a disability, right? Because once again, it seems as if these people are victims, right? Especially, when you're abused as a child or anything like that, right? That's like, okay, this is a victim of abuse, a victim of a disability, or whatever it is. My perspective on this that has helped me significantly is that regardless of what we believe has happened to us, we can also turn this into something that happened for us. The only shift, the only thing that you can do to shift this is you decide to change your perspective. So instead of this happened to me, it's how did this happen for me? We all have things that we've gone through. We all have ups and downs, right? How can I take something that maybe looks to everyone else as a disability, as a curse, as a negative, as a trauma, and turn this into my power? We live in a dualistic world. Everything has two sides: hot, cold, dark, light, you name it, everything, good and evil. But guess what? That also means that within every single negative situation, there is equally a positive and there's equally a blessing that exists in that. And the only person that can find it is you, because you lived it, you experienced it, right? So this is the biggest thing that for me has really helped me in my life, is transforming all of the so-called negative things that have happened, all the things that we could perceive as, you know, whatever, a trauma, an abuse, a bad situation, something that is working against me, and turn it into something that is working for you, right? Because we can all live in as a victim our entire lives. But I've chosen to think about it differently because I don't want to live my life like that. And I understand how much living as a victim only hurts me. Because even if I was a victim, right? Because we all have at some point. When you're a child, you could say you're a victim of whatever it is that how your parents treat you, how the people in your life treat you, all the things. Or if you're born with something, right? But the only thing we can do is ask ourselves, how do I want to respond to this? And how am I going to make this work for me? Take the ingredients that life has given you and make the most delicious thing you can possibly make. That is my perspective, and that I think is really helpful to see life through that lens. Okay, so to conclude today, guys, I really hope that this was beneficial, and I hope this gave you some insight, some inspiration, maybe some mindset shifts, and hopefully a takeaway, and something that you can actually apply and put into your life. So we discussed today talking about fitness, physical fitness, financial fitness, and relational fitness. I want you guys to sit down after this live, if you're watching, you're paying attention today, and get out a journal, use your phone, whatever it is, to take notes. And I want you guys to be honest with yourself about something that you are wanting to move toward, a goal that you have, whether this is your financial goal, a physical goal, or a relational goal. And I want you to say, what actions am I taking in this area to move myself toward this? And is there anything that I could be changing, maybe my thoughts or my habits, that would move me toward this faster, right? This is a very, very important key step in attaining our goals and in moving toward the things that we want. And that is being aware of what it is that we're doing and what we're doing to move toward it. Once again, this isn't just actions. This is the way you're thinking, is the way I'm thinking and believing, and the habits that I'm taking every single day, like the action steps, are those all aligning with the direction that I'm wanting to go? And if they're not, something needs to change, right? That simple step, guys, can make a huge difference in the results that you get in your life. So take this as a daily accountability, something that you can implement in your life, because I'm not here to just spout stuff off to you. And yes, talking can change perspective. Talking can help change beliefs, which is powerful. But I want you guys to use this as a tool to become aware where of the places in your life, of the thought patterns, the belief systems that you're having right now are either moving you toward or sabotaging you from what it is that you want. And be honest with yourself, because honesty will actually make a huge difference. Lying to yourself or to others is not going to benefit you. Be honest so that you can actually see where you're at and make the changes so that you can get where you want to go, because we all deserve it, guys. We all deserve to have the amount of money that we want, to live the life that we truly enjoy. You deserve the body and the health and all the good things in life. You deserve to be in a relationship, to have friends, to have community that is supportive, loving, caring, and actually can reciprocate in your life. Okay? I hope this was valuable for you. If you got really good information from this, please share this with someone who you know needs to hear about this, who needs to maybe open their mind and see things differently from a different perspective, okay? Because as we share this stuff, we get to make differences in people's lives and really help people in a positive way, okay? I'll see you guys in my next live. Thank you for joining, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.